Hi, today I'm in Brussels with Toyota to review the 2013 Prius plug-in hybrid. What's a Prius plug-in hybrid? Well, it's a Prius taken a step further. You can plug it in and get up to 25 kilometers of pure electric motoring. Let's see what it can do. From behind the wheel, the new 2013 Prius plug-in hybrid doesn't look much different from your ordinary Prius. The main difference is here on the display you have a EV distance monitor. So that's one difference, and then there are a couple of buttons here. One is to switch between hybrid and electric vehicle mode. And another one is EV City, which is supposed to get you better mileage from your battery in electric only mode. Now this HV-EV switch here, this is something that was missing from the pre-production test version, which was made available to journalists over the last several years. I drove one of those test Prius cars and I'm totally lost here. Thank God for SatNav. I'm somewhere in Brussels or around Brussels. Anyway, I drove the pre-production version of the Prius plug-in hybrid last year, and it did about 12 kilometers, maybe 13 on the EV only mode, which is not very good. The manufacturer promised about 20, and I could barely get to the city center on EV mode. Now it lacked the HV EV switch like we have here, so I used up all the battery before I actually got into the town center, so that was useless. Here's another interesting button that I haven't seen in the pre-production version. Over here I can actually set the time when I want this car to be charging, so I can come back home, plug it into the socket, but I can set this car to wait for the cheaper tariff. So that's pretty neat. The pre-production version could do about 100 kilometers per hour on EV. This one supposedly will do only about 80 kilometers per hour on EV. I'm just reaching that speed now, and I'll see if the petrol engine kicks in. Not yet. 84, 85. Okay, so the petrol engine doesn't kick in, which is nice. So you can actually drive along a dual carriageway and not having to worry about burning your precious fossil fuel. Now I'll try to accelerate a bit harder to see if it switches to petrol. Yes, it does. Interesting thing, I just switched the display to fuel consumption, and I found out that I did about half a liter of petrol on my way from the airport to Toyota Motor Europe headquarters. And this half a liter of petrol probably happened only when I really stepped on the accelerator to actually see the petrol motor kick in. Okay, I'll probably have to do it again. I'm not sure if what I did here was legal, but I sort of got lost again. I have to watch the sat-nav instead of talking to you guys. Anyway, back on the route, I think, and I think this car drives like any other Prius, which is good. Not that any other Prius is particularly enjoyable to drive. I mean, okay, if you live in the States and all you have to deal with are motorways and long straights, then yeah, you'll be fine. But around Europe, if you get out of town, you might want something a bit more dynamic, fun. Anyway, let's go back to my EV readouts, and my EV monitor says that I hope I'm going the right way. Yeah, I think I am. And my EV monitor says that I don't know what this says. Fuel saved by charge approximately 0.4 liter. And where's my... Ah, here it is, my EV distance. I did about 10 kilometers, and another 9 and a bit are still there in the battery. So I should be able to achieve 20 kilometers on this EV charge. Cool. Okay, now let's see what happens if I press the EV City button. Aha, I have to press it longer, it says. So it's a decision I have to make consciously. Okay, so I'm in EV City. Another light lit up here on the dash. So it's EV mode and City. And not much is happening, to be honest. Now the manufacturer says that this EV City is about more regenerative braking and probably less air conditioning, and about yeah, okay, the accelerator pedal, I can feel it. It's not responding very well. I mean, I'm pressing it and nothing's happening. So there you go, there's your EV City mode. Very good to save energy, I suppose. Based on what the manufacturer says about fuel consumption in this car and energy consumption, I suppose that if you would charge this car regularly and then probably fill it up every once in a while, in terms of petrol and electric energy, all this combined would cost you about a quarter of what a normal petrol car would cost to fill up, and maybe a third of what a diesel would cost you. And this, I think, is what's important about this Prius plug-in hybrid. It's better than a diesel. The regular Prius, again, it might impress the Americans who are used to their gas guzzlers, but it doesn't impress Europeans who are used to diesel engines, which are really, really efficient. So your normal Prius is like your diesel car, and this Prius plug-in hybrid, this is where savings really begin. Minus the price, which is hefty. And the prices start at 36,000 euros, excluding any locally available eco-incentives. That's 7,000 more than the standard Prius. Well, from a technological standpoint, the car makes sense.